Page 138, Moonlight Sonata. Actually, this is a theme from it, a portion of it, and it's a nice arrangement. It is an arrangement, but it's got some nice things in it. It's a challenge piece, last piece in the book. So if you made it through the book so far, congratulations. I hope you have done all the lessons, gone through all the videos, checked everything out carefully. If you don't have a teacher, and this is your first time through the book, then I would encourage you to go back through the book again, review everything, because you will have missed things, you'll have forgotten things. Go through the lessons again. Just take your time getting through it. And then people ask, well, what do I do now? There's no book 3. And really, it's up to you. You find intermediate level music, whatever kind of music you like, and try that. If you're looking for method books or something, you can try the John Thompson books around level 2 or 3. John Thompson advances very quickly. So I might encourage you to go start with a level 2 and go through it and just go through that in level 3. Or the Baker books, they do contemporary stuff. If you like contemporary music, the Baker books are good for that. I don't care for the arrangements at all, but they're contemporary pieces of Beatles songs and things like that in there, if you like that kind of stuff. It's really up to you. You just kind of build up your library. You buy a book of a bunch of stuff in it, and you go through it and try things out and see what you like. If you want to improvise, get fake books. Get a good fake book and start experimenting on the fake book stuff, improvising. Anyway, let's see what we got here. It's 2 pages long. Treble, bass, clef, 3 flats in the key signatures, so we're either in the key of E flat major or C minor. If you look at the end, the last one right here, it's a C minor chord. I figure we're in C minor, but you do the scales for both, E flat major and C minor, and probably ought to be doing the arpeggios too. The scales you should be doing at least 2 octaves, maybe 4, but the arpeggios, if you're just starting them, just do them 1 octave for now. And 4/4 time. So let's take it one hand at a time, make sure we understand what the hands are doing. This thing has triplets all over. You see in the right hand there, the top staff, you have 3 eighth notes beamed together, and there's a little 3 with it. This is one of the indications that it's a triplet. So 1 enda, 2 enda, or triple, triple, and it's just a broken chord. It's just a C chord in second version. 1 and 2. Just rolling weight. I'm walking on the piano using 3 fingers, just rolling weight. The wrist will do whatever it does. I don't worry about it. And then measure 3, then by here. If you don't want to be up in here, you can just second finger. And then now, you actually 2/4 of that, or the 1, 3, 5, and the fingering in the book is fine. Then measure 4, B natural, and then 3. The notes are changing, be careful. And there, measure 4, the last triplet. That's 3 ledger lines below C, 1, 2, 3, it's an F. And then you have a B, and it's a B natural, even though there's a B flat in the key signature, but we had a B natural earlier in the measure. That's good for the whole measure, so this is also a B natural. And then measure 5. You see the LH? The LH is going to play the first note of the triplet. And then the right hand does this. So it's triplet, or 1 and 1 and 1 and. So the left hand's helping out with the triplets. And then the dotted rhythm. Don't turn it into a triplet. 4E and 4E and 1. Make it a short note. We changed the 4th finger there because measure 7 we're going to go with a 3. However you finger it here, you need 3rd finger on measure 7. And then the triplets went to the left hand. Yeah, now on these dotted rhythms, like a measure 9, make sure it's to here. Bum, ba, bum. Not bum, bum, bum. The tendency on these short note is you'll accent the short note. I've heard professionals do it too. It's to hear the fifth. Make sure the dotted half note that's the natural accent. It gets the accent thing. And then measure 11, you're here and then here. Measure 12, it's a 5-4. You play it with 5th finger and then put 4th finger on it because we need 5th finger for here. So it's, and then measure 13, D flat. And then they want 3rd finger here. No, I don't want to use 3rd on both. It's between a phrase you can lift up. That's why they're getting away with it. But I want to connect it. So I'm going to use a 1, and then I can do a 1-4. Here, just 1, 4. I'm going to use a 1 rather than a 3. Measure 16 at the end of 5. Here, and then here, and then the last one. Bottom note in the last measure. Well, it's below 3 ledger lines. So C is 1, 2, 3, so that would be an E. But it's an E flat because the signature down here. So it's, that's fine. With the kind of fingering style I use, I don't move my hand any more than I have to. So what I would do, you don't have to, but what I would do here on the end, the last 2 measures, is I would finger the C, E flat with 4, 5. This way I'm in position for the last chord. That's how I would finger it. But you can use their finger if you want to. I don't like it, but you can do it. Left hand, at the beginning you just got the C, whole notes. Now measure 5, you're going to play the C and the E flat together. You got to lift up on the E flat because it's part of a triplet. Triplet. But the C stays down, and then later while holding the C down, you can play the G. Because it's part of a triplet. So it's a triplet, triplet. And then you come up. And then you get triplets. Okay. Put the hands together. It's here. Not too big. Not too bad, I hope. Okay, let's go down to measure 5. That's the tricky one. You're here. Remember, I left it up. That's what I want. That's what we want. Now, the 16th note comes after the last triplet note. Not with it. No, please don't do that. So I put the heads together, and I go back over it carefully, the treble spots, get rid of any hesitations. And then I add in the articulation, which here it's all just connected. You can lift up between the phrases if you want. If you can find them and feel them, you lift up. Pedal probably covered up, but nevertheless you can lift up. Otherwise, you connect it all. Then dynamics, it's going to be both hands, very soft, very light, very little weight. Don't use the soft pedal, that's cheating. Now when you get to measure 5, the pickup, the last beat, going into measure 6, this is soft. They give you a very soft for the left hand, you don't need it. They need one dynamic in the middle that tells you the melody. That's the melody. We need to hear that. That's soft, so everything else has to be in the background. So it's here. That's going to be a trick because the tendency is the hand that's busy will get loud and it'll just happen. These triplets, they'll just get loud by themselves, and pretty soon you're drowning out the melody. So you have to be aware of that and always listen carefully to make sure those triplets stay in the background, very soft. Now measure 9 going into measure 10, you come up a little bit to moderately soft, but the triplets got to stay very soft. Only the melody one. you're starting in moderately soft and a little bit softer. Come down a little bit. Left hand stays in the background. Now you're soft. Now for the speed, I've heard this at all kinds of speeds. I've heard people just drag it. Those are not triplets. That's just yuck. And I've heard people play it way too fast. No. Adagio is slowly, sostenuto is sustained. Well, don't drag it, but don't rush it either. The triplets need to feel like triplets. And it's all the same speed throughout. You might think, well, this isn't adagio. The beat. 1, 2. That's adagio. Then they've added pedal, which makes sense because this is pretty dry. You learn it without pedal. Make sure the hands are doing what they need to do. And when we add pedal, it's going to be overlapping pedal, and we're going to change it with the harmony. When the chord changes or something, we're going to change it. At the beginning, I push the pedal down right after the note, and I change the pedal right after the note. Something like so. You just have to remember it's very, very soft here, so be very light with it. Couple pedaling suggestions you might think about is on measure 8 here. That's too much. So I would change the pedal on the last beat to keep the melody clean. We want to keep it clean. Like so. And then at the end, the bottom of page 130, the last measure, I would change the pedal on the last measure just to get rid of all the extra stuff. This is very soft here. Should be very soft in my opinion. So just change the pedal on the last measure too. Let's play this together slowly. And see, I'm not going to do any louds and softs and play everything about the same. I'll give us 4 counts just to check the notes and the rhythm. Actually, it'll be about the speed it goes. I put the metronome on beating triplets because there's triplets throughout. And you adjust the metronome for whatever you need for the piece you're practicing and the speed you need to go. So it's beating triplets. So it's a 1 and 2. Like that. That's how fast we're going to go. So I'll give us 4 quarter notes to come in, but we're going to go that fast. 1 and 2. 2 and 3 and go and two and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and off.